Welcome back. So today we're going to combine a couple of things I have going on in my head. And like I always say, if this is a thing, I don't know about it. I watched a video a long time ago about these people. They were eating like ground lamb and they were rolling it out real thin. And I was like, oh, that could work for other things. And then I kind of filed it away. This is probably maybe about a year ago I saw this. I filed it away. It's been simmering back there for a little while. And then yesterday I thought, ooh, you know what I could do with that? White Castle burgers. So that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna make some White Castle burgers using this other technique I saw for something else that was lamb. I'm sorry, all my phones are going dingy dong, but they're gonna stay in there. So without further ado, let's get it, let's go, let's hit those pots, come on. All right, there you go. That's going to be dinner. I got those French fries on sale for $2.97. There's less in it, so $2.97, $2.99, I don't care. French fries. I got some Hawaiian rolls. I get those from Aldi's because they do not have milk in it. But don't go by me. Do your own research. I got a thing of ground turkey. You know me. I don't buy that ground beef unless I find an amazing sale. We go through too much ground meat around this house. Be spending $7, $8, $9 a pound. Not doing it. And I got an onion. Now, I did buy a second loaf of rolls, if it were, just in case, because I don't know how many this is going to make. And if it makes more than just the one roll, I didn't want to be going, gee, I wish I brought two. So just in case this makes enough for two, we have it. First thing we're going to do is start mixing the meat. All right, so I took the ground turkey out of that little pack and I squeezed it out a little bit so it's not quite as wet. To that, we're going to add a little bit of onion powder, but I'm adding fresh onion, so I'm only going to add a little bit. We're going to add a little bit of garlic, even though I'm heavy-handed. I'm going to try not to be, because we do like a little bit of garlic in ours. A little bit of pepper. Instead of salt, I'm going to use seasoned salt. Just season with your heart here, guys. And then what you could do if you're using ground beef is add a little bit of tablespoon of water or something to it to give it that texture that White Castle has. But what I'm going to add is some Worcestershire sauce because it's ground turkey and not ground beef. I'm going to add a teaspoon and a half, I think. I'm just going to stay with a teaspoon until I'm sure. What I did was I took part of my onion. As you can see, I grated a piece of that up. And, hold on a second. Still all over the grater. So we scrape that off, get that into the pot here. Or the bowl, I should say, not pot. Clean it out in there. Hold on, let me just tap it off. All right, we're going to put whatever juices that came off of it with that onion in there. And we're going to mix that up. And then I'm going to show you what we're going to do with this. It's really cool. I combined two ideas, like I said. I was thinking about one thing. I'm like, oh, you know what you could do with that? And I'll show you what I mean. Let me just tap the rest of this off. All right, now we're just going to mix everything together. And then what I usually do when I'm cooking and seasoning meat, I always smell it because I have a great sense of smell. A very high sense of smell. It's actually a condition, but I could smell if there's enough seasoning in it or not. But we're just going to do that. See how wet that is? That's why I squeezed it out a little bit. All right, let me see. Got a glove on my hand. It actually could use a little bit more Worcestershire sauce. And now that my hand is all dirty, try to do it one-handed. Oop. Just a little bit. All right. So now we're going to get some parchment paper and a rolling pin. All right, I'm going to take this meat. I'm going to put it right here on this foil. You should be doing it between 2 parchment lined papers, but I don't have that much parchment paper left, so I'm going to start with the foil and then use the parchment paper after. What you're going to do is you're going to lay a piece of parchment paper down on top, and we're going to flatten this out till it's super thin. Okay, not just with our hand. I'm just getting it spread out a little bit. Oh, and if you want to use beef, it's said the 73% usually is the best, that is most like White Castle. We're just going to keep smushing it out, and I'll just move this paper around as I go to make it nice and thin. Oops. Stuck. All right. Went a little bit too fast. Ooh, and I overshot my foil on the other side. All right. So let me just work on that because it needs to be rolled out a little bit better. But you see what I'm doing? And you want it to stay together like this. So that's why they put it on parchment paper. But I'll put the paper on top and flip it over. Let me finish getting it to shape, and then I'll show you. Alrighty. I've finished. Now, you could figure out ways how to poke holes in this thing. I'm not going to do that to make it look like White Castle. I think this is about as close to it as I'm going to get. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer this onto a parchment-lined sheet pan. I'll show you that in just a moment. All right, so I slid it onto a pan. I don't know if you can see it under there. And I'm just going to flip it over onto another sheet pan. I don't have enough room to show you me doing that, but that's what I'm going to do. Gonna try at least. Boom. Let's see if it works. Let's hope it worked. Peel this off nice and slow. Oh, it's working. I just gotta peel it off slowly. There we go. See, I told you it was working. Just had to get it started. All right, so I had to fix it just a little. I probably could have just done it in this pan and put it together, but there you go. I'm going to put that, now since I'm using ground turkey, I'm going to use 375. If you're using ground beef, use 350 to 375 until it's done, I guess. Meanwhile, I'm going to chop up a little bit more of the onion and start the French fries in the air fryer per the package instructions. In the oven that goes. All right, since White Castle steams their sandwiches, you don't like make them like regular sliders. When I put them together, I'm going to put them in the oven for a few minutes. I'm going to stick them over top. I'm going to put some water in this in the bottom rack. And I'm going to put the buns and everything right on top of that. That is done. I'm going to let it rest for a minute. The French fries are almost done. And we're just going to assemble these. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out how big this is. Cutting it with that thing. And those extra pieces I can use on the extra buns that I got. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark where the lines are. It's cooled down enough that I can handle it. It's still hot, but... And then I'm just going to mark it, and that's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to mark it like that. So I know where to go. And then the buns right about there. Okay. Take that off. And we're gonna cut it the best we can. Okay, so I use that as my guide. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the ooh, that's still hot. Ow, hot, hot, hot. All right. So I don't know if you can see that or not. I'll put it right there. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a little bit of the onions that I minced up, and we're just gonna put them down over top here. Matter of fact, I think I'm gonna break this up. Let me break it up first. All right, so they're all broken apart, the rolls. I did that intentionally. And I'm gonna sprinkle down some of these minced onions. Just a little bit, because that's what White Castle does. It sticks it under the meat when you put it on. Just a little bit. Or you could use rehydrated ones. Okay, then we're gonna take our little squares that we cut, and we're gonna put them on, oops, flop it around there, Tina. We're gonna put it on each one of these buns. I'm gonna separate a little bit so I can see where they're at. There you go. Just gonna grab it with my fingers. I think that's gonna be easier. Okay? And we're just gonna load up the burgers. I have, like I said, I have the pan. I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do with the, because they steam these, I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna get that steam going. If you want some cheese on it, you could add that. It'll melt in the oven. Let me get the top buns. Just gonna put those down there. They could add ketchup or mustard, whatever they want, once they get it done. I think my air fryer is about to go off any second now. It's got 1 minute left on it. There we go. Those are gonna go in the oven, and we're gonna let them steam a little bit, because that's how White Castle does it. Freeze right there. I totally forgot to come back when I stopped the video camera. What I did with the rest of the meat was I decided to add a couple of slices of cheese so you guys can see the regular burgers and the cheeseburgers. Those are done, nice and warm. Let me show you. We got almost 2 full packages out. I came up too short. And there's the second batch. Those are the ones I put some cheese on. Oh, it's sticking out because the cheese is on it. Frenchy fries are done. All I'm gonna do is plate it up, and we're having White Castle. All right, so I'm gonna put a couple on here for Eric. He said he wants 3 of them with some ketchup and some fries. Mine, I'm gonna take 2. I'm gonna take a cheeseburger and a regular one. But there's our plates. We're gonna meet you at the table.
If you get any benefit at all from my content, you can help me out by clicking like, share, commenting, and definitely hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you'll be notified every time I upload a new video.
White Castle. At least it's a White Castle. Castle? That's what we're called. It's White Castle, right? It's a ish. It's a lean, a wink, a nod too. Eric's never had a White Castle burger before, so I'm going to do the one with cheese on it. And you do the plain one, because I know what they're supposed to taste like. I don't expect it to be exactly, but it'll remind me of it. You ready? Let's go. It's actually quite close.
It's really good.
It really is. Mmm. You taste the onion under it, the steamed onion?
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty darn good. These are a different brand of French fries. They're good French fries. They just happen to be on sale, and that's why I got them. Give it a go. They're not White Castle. They're just French fries.
Mm-hmm. Good.
Huh? Good. All right. Well, let me get everybody else fed, and we'll see what they think about it at the wrap-up. Bye-bye. Dinner's over. How we do? Boom. Couldn't finish. However, that was a lot of sliders. I made almost 2 full packs of the slider buns, or whatever you call those things. So they did a really good job. Trey's already at work. He said, good job, Jima. And I'll turn the camera around and let the kids tell you what they think about it. All right, I got Eric and I got Aiden. I was going to call you Tyler. What did you think about it as a whole, the meal, since you've never had White Castle before?
I thought it was really good and I thought it was really filling.
What do you think about it, Aiden?
It's great.
It was great? All right, you guys can go and let me get Tyler. All righty, Tyler, what did you think about the meal as a whole? Was it filling? Was it good? Was it yucky? What was it?
It was filling. It was good.
It's filling and good. All right. And me, what did I think? I loved it. It really did remind me of a White Castle. It wasn't a perfect match because I wasn't trying to go for perfection. I was going towards a lean, a nod, a wink towards. So there you have it. I hope you try it. I hope you like it. Leave me a comment. Either way, see you later. Bye.